BYD Philippines has just unveiled their most important and most affordable EV offering yet, the BYD Seagull GLX. Now, this mini EV is meant to truly bring EV mobility to the masses, and in this video, we're going to find out if it has the chops to succeed. Let's do this!
It was only a matter of time before BYD jumped into the arena of small EVs. Electric cars truly excel in city driving, and there's no better car to drive around the city than a small EV city car. Of course, the smaller the car, the lower the entry cost shall be, and the same can be said for the BYD Seagull. See, this cute and feisty little EV comes in at below 1 million Philippine pesos, which might seem a bit pricey when you compare it to the other 3-door small EVs that are closer to the $500,000 Philippine peso mark, so it begs the question, can the BYD Seagull fully justify its asking price? Let's find out.
Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. Now, the first time I laid my eyes on the BYD Seagull, well, the first thought that came into my mind is that, dude, this thing looks like a Lamborghini. I mean, check out those headlights, check out the design of the DRLs, and even that front bumper. This, my friends, looks like a car that if ever Lamborghini decides to make a small EV city car, it's going to look like this. In fact, it kind of looks like a Huracan that spent too much time in the dryer, you know? It kind of shrunk. But guys, some of you might be thinking, that means, Reagan, that BYD copied Lamborghini's design again for the BYD Seagull. But dude, I have news for you. You see, the current designer for BYD was the former designer for Audi, and last I checked, Audi owns Lamborghini. So if you think about it, this is an original design by that designer, so there is no copying here. Alright, now moving on to the actual design of this front fascia. First up, I noticed we have a single wiper blade here. Yes, we only have one wiper blade a la Le Mans race car. Yeah, so this thing has the duties of making sure that you have clear vision for your windshield. It's a pretty small windshield, but it's not an issue when it comes to visibility because, yeah, it has good outward visibility, which I'll share with you in my drive impressions later on. Now, aside from that, of course, we have that angular LED headlight units here. You got the BYD logo there, and yeah, coupled with the design of that front bumper, it really gives the Seagull a very aggressive, sporty look, especially when you get it in this sprout green paint job. I mean, dude, this is exuding a lot of sporty road presence, which I love. When you go over to the side, you will see just how tiny the BYD Seagull really is. However, despite its size though, it still comes in an actual 5-door hatchback layout versus the usual 3-door layout that can be found in other small EVs out there. Now, the Seagull also comes with a Type 2 charge port right here on the front fender, which means that you can take the Seagull out to any charging station in the Philippines and you'll be able to top up because we are on the Type 2 standard. Now, I'm also quite surprised to see that the Seagull comes with DC charging support, which means that you can do DC fast charging here, which takes this vehicle from 30% charge to 80% charge in as quick as 30 minutes. Now, regular AC charging can be done in as quick as around 5 hours, and all BYD Seagulls sold in the Philippines comes with an AC wall box charger which can be installed in your homes. Now, when you check out the wheels and tires of this vehicle, you'll see that we have 610-inch alloy wheels here, very cutesy, and behind those wheels, we have 4-wheel disc brakes. It's not like the other small city cars out there that only come with rear drum brakes. Very mindful. Now, as for the suspension bits, well, we have a MacPherson front suspension, we have a torsion beam at the back, and for the ground clearance, it stands at 150 millimeters. Very demure. Over here at the back, we get the same angular design that can be found up front. We have this humongous rear spoiler there, full LED taillight units plus an LED light strip, and we even have diffusers, well, faux rear diffusers on your rear bumper. Now, when you pop open the manual liftgate, you'll see that the Seagull comes equipped with around 300 liters of cargo capacity behind the back seats, which is pretty impressive for a small EV city car. That means that I can take this large piece of luggage here and I can put that right there, and it's going to fit very, very well, and you also have enough space for your passengers in the back seat. Now, if you need more space than around 300 liters, well, you can fold down this thing. Oh, there you go. It doesn't split fold though, so that's one thing that you have to consider, and it doesn't fold flat. But with the back seat folded, well, you get over 900 liters of cargo space, which, as I said, is pretty impressive for a small city EV car. Now, if you're looking for a spare tire though, well, the Seagull, since it has a battery pack underneath the car, it doesn't really get a spare tire. Instead, we only have a fix-a-flat. Under the hood, we get a 55 kilowatt electric motor here that makes the Seagull a front-wheel drive EV. Now, this motor is capable of putting out a maximum power of 75 PS and 135 Newton meters of maximum torque. Now, the maximum range over this Seagull is around 300 kilometers because it is equipped with BYD's Blade battery. Now, if you're wondering what kind of drive the Seagull can deliver, well, you might as well wait until the end of this video where I will take this out for a quick spin. The cabin layout of the Seagull is pretty simple and straightforward, and it kind of reminds me of the wings of a seagull. Now, despite being BYD's most affordable offering here in the Philippines to date, we still get these faux leather seats that are in a really cool and fun design, and of course, we get manual adjustments only for these front seats. Now, we also have a leather-wrapped steering wheel here with some really cool neon green or yellow stitching there, and the wheel also adjusts for tilt, but it doesn't really telescope, which is really not a big deal, especially for someone like me because I'm not really the tallest person in the world. Now, behind that steering wheel, we also have a 7-inch digital gauge cluster there with all of your EV information, bit on the small side, but it does the job well. And moving over to the infotainment screen, well, we still have a 10.1-inch rotating touchscreen here that is filled with the bells and whistles. Now, we get wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, the image of a reverse camera here, and this infotainment system also powers 6 speakers, which is, yeah, that's pretty cool considering that this is still an affordable small city EV car. Now, if you're looking for the gear shifter of this vehicle, you'll find that it's here right beside the climate control buttons here and the other buttons as well. It's the same layout that can be found in the BYD Dolphin, which is not really surprising because this, my friends, is actually known as the Dolphin Mini in other markets, but here in the Philippines, we call it the Seagull. Now, as for the safety bits, well, the Seagull GLX gets a bunch of passive safety features that you're now seeing on your screen. We don't get any driver assist aids here, which is not really expected considering the price level and the fact that it's a full EV. Now, we also have a wireless charging pad here located right there in the floating center console. You got a pair of cup holders, a lot of storage space underneath that floating console. And if you look at the entire color scheme, the colorway of this cabin, well, you could see that it's really cool and fun with its two-tone layout, two-tone design. And you could really tell that the BYD Seagull is being marketed to the Riz masters who don't really give a skibidi because they're all Sigma, right? Now, anyway, now it's time to take this Seagull out for a quick spin. Alright guys, so since this is just an unboxing video of the BYD Seagull, this is my first driving impression of this vehicle. Now, right off the bat, I can tell you that the Seagull feels like any ordinary city car to drive, except for 2 things. Well, 1, it's silent, and 2, there's no vibrations. Now, the fact that it's quiet and there's no vibrations here means that you won't be too tired when you're driving the Seagull around city traffic, or even when you take it out on a long drive, as long as it's, well, less than 300 kilometers, because that's the maximum amount of range that you get on a single charge. But the good thing here though is if you decide to take the Seagull out on a long drive that's over 300 kilometers, you won't have any issues because all you need to do is look for a DC charging station and top up your Seagull when you're on that long drive, because guys, this is, I think, the only small EV city car that comes with DC charging support. So it only takes a few minutes and you're able to get to your destination. Now, in terms of the initial driving impressions here, well, first up, the visibility of this vehicle is superb. It is top-notch. The belt line is low. We have a big windshield out there, so it's going to be very, very easy to drive, especially for the first-time drivers out there. Next thing, the steering feel is also on the light side, so this is going to be very easy to maneuver around in the city, and the throttle pedal is well modulated, so you won't be in a shock if ever you decide to stomp on the pedal. And speaking of stomping on the pedal, let's go. Woo! See? The acceleration is linear and it's not going to scare a lot of people, you know? Oh, by the way, we also have 3 drive modes here. We have Eco, Normal, and Sport. But for this driving impression, I'm just on Sport mode all of the time because Eco and Normal mode are a bit on the sluggish side. But of course, that will also help you conserve on your battery juice. Now guys, as I said, it's a first driving impression video. It's an unboxing video, guys. So yes, I hope you subscribe to Reagan's Rides and click that notification bell so that you'll know when I come out with my full driving review video of the BYD Seagull. Anyway, at this point, outro na!
There's a reason why the BYD Seagull has sold more than 200,000 units in its first 7 months of production. The Seagull combines the simplicity of a small EV city car with its stunning good looks, a larger cabin space, and the best battery tech available today in a relatively affordable full EV package. Of course, I can't wait to drive this for a longer period of time to give you a full driving review video, so do subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so you'll know when that video finally comes out. But until then, thanks for watching.